Today I am out testing or trying a new tent. So I managed to get my hands on Hilleberg Akto for the weekend and I'm going to be using that tonight. Here's where I'm going next. West Mill Tor and then up to Yes Tor, High Willows, Forsland Ledge, and I'll make up where I go from there. Okay, so here we are at Yes Tor. I've taken the steeper way up and I didn't film at West Mill Tor because I was talking to a group of lads down here on a bit of an escape, and fair play to them. It's good to see people kind of connecting to the outdoors. So yeah, so chat to them and glad to be back up to Yes Tor, even if it is the steep way. But God, yeah, I tried to kind of lump it up here quite quick as well. So pack wise I'm about 14-15k, so nothing too heavy, very different than what I was at the beacons the other week. So here we go. So back up, one of my favourite trigs in the southwest. Yes Tor, over there, High Willows. Whew. Here we go, highest point in the southwest. So I'm still adamant that's Yes Tor. You can stack a few rocks up on the top and call it 2 meters, but you can't beat a trig point. So here we go, the highest, High Willows. This is Forsland Ledge. So I've been here before, but you can see the Oakmont Valley here. Down and up will take you to Kitty Tor, and then I think over further on you can see Hunt Tor. I think there's Great Links back over to Sorton Tors down there, and then Meldon Reservoir. So yeah, the Oakmont Valley. It's a steep one, it's a wind tunnel, and there's High Willows over there. So today I've got the Hilleberg Akto, which I've packed down quite small, and that's the poles that come on it, very light. So the whole thing comes in at 1.7. So it's quite a nice light tent. It's a one-man tent, and yeah, I'm going to see how I get on with this weekend, and maybe pick one up myself. But I'm on a bit of a tent ban at the moment because I've got quite a few, so I might have to thin out my selection first. But let's pitch this one. Okay, so first thing that really strikes me about Hilleberg is the material. Is super thin, and yeah, crazy thin, very light. So let's have a look at the pegs. Okay, so pegs really nice. nice and light ones. So you've got, I think you've got some reflective material in these pull cords on the pegs. So yeah, decent. You've got enough. And then look at the pole. I think it's a single pole. So it's yeah, there we go. One single pole for the Akto. And then inside that you've got what looks like a correction, like a repairing piece. So this tent has 10 pegs, and you've got its guy system basically gets the tension in the right areas. So on the end you've got these end poles that are sewn in, very thin lightweight material, but they give that structure and that height at the end, similar to other tents actually, and those other tents probably nicked from this design. But yeah, the material is very thin. You can almost see through it. You can see the inner yellow inner sheet. But what you have got is these bits zip, unzip for ventilation, to let air flow through. And the pole comes through and fits into this really durable, almost like a leather type of pocket. So the pole fits in there, is rounded, and basically at the other end you've got this cool little cup that it fits into. So that's held there. You've then got what I believe is like a Dyneema string that runs underneath. So you've got that tension there. And you can see you've got a big enough area in the vestibule to chuck your pack down. And then space for kipping. So this is a very nice put together tent. So the quality on the zip is incredible. This piece here is it's almost like the material that you get your gaiter straps. I've got Gore-Tex gaiter straps that is kind of this sort of material, which just waterproofs off the zip area, so there's no way water's going to be coming through there. Even the door tie elastics are great, just to kind of keep the door open. So once I get in there, I'm going to be snug. I pitched it so I'm behind the rock, which is breaking the wind. If I moved over just slightly, I'd probably be in for a windy night. And if I was down there slightly, that Oakmont Valley is like a wind tunnel. So fingers crossed, I pitched it just right here. But yeah, very happy with that. So Hilleberg, for my first time, I'm very impressed. It's nice and wide, so you've got that like you really feel that vestibule space as being that little bit bigger. I mean, I've got my pack in there and I've still got room to kind of sit inside the tent, have my jet boil in that area, and I can even sit up in it, which is great. So yeah, that's fantastic. I'll pop some spec information, or I'll put a link to the actual tent below, so you can see you've got that same zip here to kind of let airflow come through. So really good quality zips as well. So there we go, just let that bit of air flow through. But yeah, very happy with that, very impressed. Nice one. Right, I'm going to adjust the tensions ever so slightly, and then I'm going to get some hot water on. Inside, not bad. the gap between the inner and the outer fly is pretty good, so I can't see there being a case of like the inner coming into contact with the outer. Yeah, it's really well put together. So inside then you've got a couple of loops here for rigging up a light, and then like I said, down at the end you've got these poles that are integrated to the outer, and you've got your little vent part there, so you can see there's a really good gap between the two layers. Inside, a nice little pocket there, a mesh pocket. The typical instructions then are warnings about the material, so that's cool. The zip, as I said, the outer zip is pretty cool there, so you can kind of, if you wanted to, you can have it that way and have it open at the top to let a bit of air in. The inner kind of goes all the way around here, where you can sort of tie it up. And like I said, I'm really impressed with how you can fit your pack in there. That's a 48 litre pack, and yeah, it's like a TARDIS in here, to be fair. So you've also got on here, you could pull that to just expose the mesh down. So if you are using this tent in warmer conditions, the ventilation's really good. So, very impressed. So as you can see, it's a frosty one. Last night was quite windy. The tent was positioned quite well, because you can see the wind was coming in a direction where I knew I could sort of pitch just behind something that would break it up. But it did shift during the night, so you know, I was feeling it a bit more. As the temperature dropped, you can see that the warmth that I was chucking out has kept a lot of frost away, apart from bits here at the end. So we've got frost there, and frost where my pack was sat outside here. So but inside that tent last night, lovely and warm. I was shocked actually to see the frost this morning, because that's not how I felt at all whilst I was in it. With any tent, you're going to have an element of condensation, as long as science be science. You know, breath is going to turn into moisture. But the ventilation on that tent could have been, like, I could have unzipped and I could have had that little bug net flap down. I didn't. Yeah, so there was minor condensation, but not like, you know, not crazy amounts. So I'm gonna have a coffee. I'm gonna pack this thing away. So one of the locals didn't ping I was here, and his mates are over there, and I'm in the way. But the verdict on the tent, very impressed. Hilleberg Akto. It's, yeah, tis what tis. They are market leaders for a reason.